No, you're starting to turn us on a bit now, aren't you? Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Now the other day I was just searching around the internet, looking for things, finding things, enjoying life, and I came across this. Pebeo Prism Fantasy Paints. It's a bit of a strange name for some paints, but they look super fun and very interesting and weird. And I thought I'd try them out, give them a go, see what they're like, and make some cool stuff with them, hopefully. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so this is the set that I bought, and it's the Pebeo Fantasy Prism Paint Assorted 10 by 45mm box set for £26.99. And it says that Fantasy Prism is a solvent-based reactive paint which produces a unique honeycomb effect as it dries. Opaque with an enamelled looking pearl finish, easy brush application in thin or thick layers. Brushes and tools must be cleaned thoroughly with odorless mineral spirit or white spirit. So I am familiar with Pebeo as a brand, and it's obviously in their very iconic little bottles, but it looks like you can create some jewellery with it, which I find quite interesting. That almost looks like resin, it doesn't look like paint, so that's quite cool. And then I assume they're the close-ups of what each of these colours looks like. So I think it's going to be quite fun. I've got a couple of different things planned for them, just to see what's going to happen. And obviously I've never tried this before, so who knows what'll happen. I might absolutely hate it, but I might love it. It might be my new thing. I don't know. We'll soon find out. Okay, so let's get into these. Okay, so the colours you get in this box, I've got an emerald colour here, an eggshell white, buttercup. This is what they've called their paints, by the way. I'm not just describing what the paint colour is. I would never call a paint buttercup. Night blue, icy pink, antique gold, English red, moonstone, violet, and turquoise. So we've got a nice little range. We've got plenty of different colours to play around with and experiment with. I think I just want to do like a bit of a painting on a bit of canvas board, just so I can kind of feel what these paints are like. We'll go with some red, and some green, and some blue. Yeah, we'll go for a bit of buttercup as well, why not? Ooh, oh, it smells so nice. It's like a strong smell of like an oil paint or like a white spirit kind of smell. It smells lovely. Right, I need to mix these up though. Right, so I think for this one I want to do kind of like a stripy design. Yeah, you can tell you have to mix it because I don't know whether you're going to be able to see that, but like all the colours kind of on the bottom and the solvent liquid stuff's on the top. So it needs a bit more of a mix. Hang on, I'll just use a little lollipop stick. They look really nice inside the pots though. Okay, let's try and do like a stripy designed little canvas piece of artwork. Oh, that looks awful. Ew, what the hell? It doesn't look like anything. I had high hopes for this, what? This is supposed to be night blue. I've mixed that thoroughly as well. That's not right. It looks nice on the lollipop stick, so I know that's not right. What's happened? Oh, this... ugh. Oh, I hate that. I hate it so much. It might be more of a pouring technique paint, because I was planning on doing some pouring, but painting that on, look how shit that looks. That looks awful. It just looks like a big skid mark on my canvas. Let's try a different colour, see if it's just that colour's problem. Try some green. You can't go wrong with a green. Ugh. 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 Oh, they're just so like pastely. Well, not pastely, they're just so thin. Look at the state of that. That's not right. It's not right at all. I don't think so. I don't think painting them on a canvas is the right technique. Let me read the box. It says that the effect reveals itself while drying. Even if that dries, or like dries like magic, nothing's gonna happen with that. It looks awful. It's absolutely terrible. There's no instructions on the box. Okay, I'm gonna go for pouring because I don't think this is the right thing to do. That didn't work at all. It looks absolutely hideous. Right, I'll put that little sample to one side because once it's dry, some crazy kind of sorcery might happen and that might all change. But this is awful. Don't use the paints like this unless this changes. Okay, let's try this again. So I've got another bit of canvas here and I'm just gonna try and do a nice kind of fluid poury kind of thing. And it better work, I swear to God it better work. Dollop some paint on here. See, that looks nice. That looks so nice when it's poured on. When it's painted on, it just looks just thin and shitty. I think this is how you're supposed to use them. I don't think it's meant for painting with a paintbrush, even though it says you can. I think that's lies. I think you're lying to us. Right, let's give this a bit of a movement, see what happens. I still don't have faith in this paint, you know. I feel like it's super thin. You might not be able to tell on camera, but in person it doesn't, I don't know. It's not a very opaque paint. I know you can't see this, I'm sorry. I don't have like 4 cameras pointed in every direction. It moves quite nice though across the canvas. So if this does look good, then that's nice. Thing is, I don't want to use too much of this though because it's quite expensive. That's what I always find with pouring mediums and pouring paints and stuff. They're very expensive, and then the majority of your paint ends up like in a dish or on the floor or something. Okay, I think I'm just gonna leave that one how it is. I don't know whether I'm feeling this paint. At the moment, as it stands, I'm not a huge fan. I don't love it. I've got a couple more things I want to do with it, but I'm just hoping once this dries, it's gonna literally like, I don't know, eat my face off. I don't know why I said that. That's the first thing that came to my mind. I want the paint to eat my face off. But at the moment, it's not doing that. It's not even nibbling at my face. Okay, so another thing I thought would be quite fun is to do some little coasters. I've got some nice ceramic coasters here, and we'll see if this works and does anything. I'm going to put this paint on quite thick and just really go to town with it. See, this is why you have lots of rolls of tape for. Comes in great for stuff like this. If you ever get a present wrapped by me and it's got the tape on, the tape will be covered in paint. Okay, so I want to do one of just pure colour, just so I can see what that looks like. So I'm going to go for the violet, and then obviously the other 3 I'll mix some paints and do some more stuff with. Nice thick layer. And maybe if I just like kind of scoop it around like that. Okay, we'll see what that looks like. I feel like it's fully covered. I think this is what it's for, you know. I hope so. If it's not for this, and it's not for painting, then it's very limited as to what it can do. It may as well not be a thing. Right, we'll try some more funky ones. And I'm just gonna let gravity take over with these 3. I'm not gonna kind of move them around or do anything with them. I also can't see any honeycomb effects happening with any of the paints yet. So I'm not entirely sure how long that takes. The thing is, Pebeo is quite a well-known brand, and it's quite like a decent paint as well, or a decent brand. So these shouldn't be bad paints. It might just be the fact that I'm not used to using something like this. So let's chuck some colour down and just have some proper fun with it. I think that'll be enough. I know I said I wasn't going to move it, but I need to make sure it gets to the edges. Ooh, that one might look like strawberries and cream. And then the final one, you know what? I'm just going to put every single colour on. I may as well. I was trying to be conservative with this paint, but I have a feeling it's the kind of paint that I'm never going to use again, so what's the point? Is that every colour? I think I've used every colour on that one. Oh, look! Look! Ah, magic's happening there. I didn't even notice that. I don't know whether you can see that. Oh, I'll have to bring the camera up closer. One sec. Yeah, so if we look there, some honeycomb stuff started to happen. Ooh, oh, now you're starting to turn us on a bit now, aren't you? Obviously all the others, they're not doing anything at the minute. But if we get some nice effects like this towards the end, then I might be convinced. It might have sold us. It might be eating my face later. I don't know. We'll soon find out. Okay, so I'm going to leave these to dry. I have a feeling it's going to take hours, if not days, to dry because it's a very oil-based paint, and oil paint takes forever to dry. And hopefully I'm going to get some good results. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with it. At the moment, I'm slightly underwhelmed, but I kind of, in the back of my mind, I have like a niggling thought that something good is going to happen. I'm being an optimist today. Makes a change. So I'll see you when I see you, and I'll give you my final thoughts on this paint. At least this studio smells nice. I feel like I'm getting a little bit high, actually. I'm into it. I hate this paint. I really do. Well, that's an exaggeration, but I really dislike this paint. I dislike this paint a lot. I'm just mainly disappointed at the results. It's so underwhelming, it really is. So this is that first initial tester, and as you can see, there isn't a single bit of honeycomb on there. It's nothing. It's just a regular, shiny, sheer, transparent paint. Nothing fancy about it. And this is obviously the poured painting, and it looks okay. It looks fine, but there's not really any honeycomb. I can't see any of the honeycomb design. A little very tiny bit at the top there. But other than that, I could get them exact same results with a regular pour paint. And that's the coaster I did with just the one colour, the purple. There's a little bit of a honeycomb effect, but it's very subtle, and it's just not that exciting, is it? My other coasters, you can see the honeycomb design a little bit more. So there's the strawberries and cream one. I can't remember which one this one is, but it looks alright. It looks fine for what it is. And then that one's probably got the most honeycomb effect on it. But I just find it a bit underwhelming. I'm not excited over it at all. It doesn't do anything for us. And I wouldn't really be that disappointed if this was just a regular kind of paint. But the fact that this is called Prism Fantasy, you expect some sort of magic. You expect your socks to be blown off. You expect some effects that you can't get with anything else. It's supposed to be a very magical experience. And I didn't find it very magical at all. Instead of Fantasy Prism, they need to call this Underwhelming Blur. That's what they need to call it. Underwhelming blur. Because that's all it was. It's just a bit meh. It's literally meh. It's a meh paint. That's how I would describe it. And I thought it might be possibly to do with me and the way I've used it, and possibly I've done something wrong, but the limited instructions that are on here, where it says you can paint it on, did that, didn't work very well. You can pour it on thinly, did that, it worked okay. And you can pour it on thick layers, also did that, and it's just... That's all it is. That's it. It's literally this face. I can't do the face anymore. I'm laughing too much. Hang on. Try it again. I don't think that was the face. Oh, my face won't work. How did I do my face again? No, that's not it. My lips aren't working. I don't know what face I did, but rewind and go back to that face, and that's the face that this paint is. It's a meh face. But on the off chance that I've done something wrong and I've used it in a way that you're not supposed to use it, then feel free to let me know in the comments, and I might potentially change my mind, but I also don't think I'll ever change my mind because I don't like it. So that just about does it for today's video of testing out Pebeo Fantasy Prism Honeycomb Effect colours for all surfaces, 10 assorted 45ml colours. And the thing is, I'm not angry with you. I'm really not angry with you. I'm just disappointed, and I think that's worse. In the words of Tyra Banks, I was rooting for you! We were all rooting for you, and you let us down. How dare you! But if you did enjoy this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you come across any interesting paints or anything like that you want to see tested out on the channel, feel free to leave your suggestions in the comments below. I've got another video coming up in, I think, about 4 weeks' time. I'm doing some more stuff with a different kind of Pebeo paint, and it better not let us down. If it lets us down, I'm going to be very annoyed. It's going to turn from disappointment to anger. But anyway, I'll see you next week for a brand new video.